What's going on, guys? Aiden Smith with the Paint Your Path podcast. As you can see, no Joel today, but we do have another Jay in the house. Got Justin Vega from Vega's Painting. What's going on, my man?
What's going on, everybody? What's up?
Dude, appreciate you being on. If you guys don't know, Justin is a part of our Paint Pro community. So he went through our coaching, but not only that, he actually coaches with us and alongside me. He's the first person I've ever trusted to do like one-on-one coaching. I've had other people with specific strengths kind of like give presentations and whatnot, but I trusted you with the whole kit and caboodle. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
Well, I'll give you some background on kind of Justin, his story if you guys don't know him. Essentially, when he first started the coaching, he reached out just like a regular client, right? He DM'd me Paint Pro, right? Like that's like the best way that I know, hey, you're ready. And he was doing roughly 30-ish K a month, 30 to 35K.
About that. Sounds about right.
And then what was like the business like originally? What did it look like? Just so if anybody's listening and has a similar story, they can see like there's a lot more potential, you know?
Yeah, so I mean, I was in the thick of it, right? I was the painter, I was the estimator, I was the appointment set. I was it. Um, and I was just and I knew I was in like the rat race, right? Like just forever spinning my wheel with no destination. So I knew where I was, and I knew I didn't want to keep doing it, which is the reason I reached out. It took a lot of guts. It took a lot of balls to just kind of be like, hey, look, things aren't working. I need some help. Where do I go for it? So that's kind of how I got into the coaching program.
Yeah. And then kind of working with you, I always like tell people like you are a few like decisions and a few kind of strategies away from like being successful, right? I felt like you already kind of had it in you. You just needed like the game plan a little bit, right? And that's a
No,
lot
for
of
sure.
times, what we find, and we'll talk about some of the trends from you coaching, clients. It's like you're doing 80% of it right. Like, you got to get the jobs done. You got to sell jobs. You got to make money, but it's the 20% that really makes the difference, right? In that different perspective. So going through it, right, went through the entire coaching, and I just felt like he was picking up so fast. Everything he did every single week was like, all right, cool, he did it. Next week, we're focusing on this. Done. There was no issues. And then you started to see it come, the revenue started to go up. Your time started to get, come back. You weren't just, Vegas Painting. It was like, hey, we're a legitimate company in this area that is one of the, if not one of the best companies, right?
No,
And
100%.
that was a huge kind of transformation that I didn't even think you realized was possible. Maybe you could speak a little bit to that.
Yeah, so I mean, growing up, right, my dad, he's a painting contractor, still is to this day, actually. So seeing how he did things, I thought that's how things were supposed to be done. But then I quickly realized like there's so many new techniques, new strategies, and things like that, to where you don't have to necessarily work as hard to grow the business, right?
Right.
I know it sounds a little like scammy, a little schemy when it's like, hey, do you want to make more money and grow while working less? And anyone will tell you yes, but how is it going to happen, right? So that was the key. I was like, you know what? I'm trying to see how this happens.
Yeah.
And without joining, I mean, it's 2 o'clock here on the East Coast. I mean, I'd still be out there spraying or rolling or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 crews going today. They're all working. We're moving. And I'm here on the podcast. So I mean, I did definitely buy back a lot of my time, which is huge, and a lot more delegating. So
Yeah. It's huge, and it's like a constant, evolution, right? Once you get to a certain stage, it's like, all right, what's the next level look like, right?
yeah,
So that's like the entrepreneur journey. It's like, what's next? What's next? What's next? And we find that a lot. And we're always leveling up as a coaching group as well, because it's like, what else can I do to offer and help these guys go from, a tight $1.5 million operations to a $3 million operation with 2 sales rep, a PM, the whole, 9 yards. So yeah, interesting. So now we come through, he went through the coaching, obviously transformed. He's doing 6 figures a month, the whole thing. And Now he's coaching with us, right? I said, hey, Justin, I really love like your story, your work ethic, how you're kind of like not no nonsense, because I do think that you're like, a down to earth guy, but more
Yeah,
of
for the
like,
most
hey,
part.
like if you put in the work, it's black and white, right? You will get the results. And I know you speak about that a lot because you experience that.
No, 100%. So anyone that I coach, and not everyone's the same, right? Not everyone has the same mindset. So I feel like if joining a coaching program is something you're really considering, make sure you're in the right mindset
Mm,
because we can give you all the game in the world, right? But if you're not ready to execute, it means nothing. So I go through it now. I have a couple clients I'm dealing with now. I'm not going to name names, but one of them, he's like on it.
yeah.
Anytime I give him a task, he's like, all right, sounds good. And then he's the only one who goes through his to-do list and checks everything off as he's doing it. And it shows because in our
Hmm.
next call, he's like, "Hey, I got XYZ done. What's next? I'm ready to move on to the next one." And you can see his growth from week to week on how he's doing, and it's because he's putting in the work.
Yeah.
Whereas, you got some of our other clients who are like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do this," and then you hop on the next call with them like, "Ah man, I didn't really get to it." You don't see the type of growth with them that you do with the people who are on it. And I
Right.
think it's a mindset thing because the people who are taking it serious are ready. They're
Hmm.
hungry. In their mind, they know this is what they want. Um, and then it goes to the other part where it's like, I'm comfortable. I'm okay. Maybe I don't need to do this step, but I'll just do this one. It's like, no, if we're
Yeah.
giving it to you, soak it in and do it.
Yeah, like recently, I started to be a little bit more aggressive with kind of the offer that we put out there, right, to guys, right? Because we never really had a guarantee, because it was always, if you're not willing to show up and do what's required of you, you're not going to see results. But that's in anything, right? No matter what you do. We can make it a lot easier, right? We can make it so it comes faster and whatnot. But I'm starting to put out like a guarantee. We just need to be able to hold you accountable, right? So it's like, I know that if you follow these specific steps that you'll get an X result, right? But I need you to do it, right? So as long as we're on the same page about that, like you'll have, I mean, you don't even know some of the stories that we have with the coaching. And I have guys that have never sold a paint job in their life, never touched a brush, that are scaling up to $1 million, right? Just because they followed the blueprint and were willing to put in the work. So I love that you emphasize like, make sure you're ready once you join, because you pay all this money, you want to make sure it goes,
Yeah,
makes sense.
we're not performing, like magic over here. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? We're pretty much giving you our playbook to set you up for success. It's like a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Like I can give the quarterback all the plays and and give him everything he needs to make sure he can make plays or whatever. But if he's not practicing and he's not
Hmm.
ready, he's not going to make the plays. It's the same thing. If we're giving you the playbook, we're pretty much showing you what needs to be done. But if you're not ready and you're not willing to execute, that end goal it's
Yeah.
not going to be in sight. It's just how it goes.
And I think that's kind of like what scared me about growing the coaching, was like, I know that we're going to run into guys that tell me one thing but do another. So the good thing about like having you on, and making kind of even the play to have you coach and not just me, was like, all right, I know if I go through and document everything we teach, everything we do, all the systems, put them on paper. They were pretty much already on paper, but like really go through them again and make sure they're all super tightened up, and then give them to you, which I know you have done it, been there, done that. It's like, I know they're set up for success, right? And then you're going to get
100%.
better every single time you coach somebody. You already have since day one, right? You're about to start coaching your first $1 million company, which is exciting. So like, and you'd be surprised too. Another kind of like side note, you would think that these guys doing million, 2 million have it all figured out. They are just as discombobulated as guys that are doing 30, 40K a month. It's funny. Um, but yeah, I want to kind of get your feedback on like, you've been coaching for us for a little bit now. What has the experience been like, and what are the commonalities you see that make people, hey, this guy's going to have major success, and this guy, it's going to be a little bit longer road.
So like one thing that I noticed right away is and this is kind of like on a personal note with the coaching. I'm I'm literally reiterating everything that I learned from you. So when I'm going through like my checklist, I'm like, okay, what are we going to talk about on today's call? Like, let's make sure we're dialed in here. During the call, I'll catch myself like, man, I'll start holding myself accountable again
Mm,
because if I'm teaching a client something and I'm not following it myself, what am I doing?
right.
So so a lot of times I'll be coaching them and I'll get them on like a certain topic or certain problems that they're having, and then it'll like ring a bell in my head and like, oh, I'm kind of going through the same thing,
Yeah.
and I just explain the solution. So I'll go back to the drawing board, go within and fix it. So I think that's the cool thing about the coaching is like it always brings me back to my business,
Hmm.
right? Because it'll be like, well, this is what worked in my business. This is what didn't work. I
Yeah.
can reiterate it to you. I can hear some ideas from the guys, and it really helps. But one of the commonalities I notice that where people do really good is being some sort of tech savvy.
Hmm.
Um, we've had a few clients that we've been dealing with that are not at all, and they seem to struggle a little bit because, I mean, let's be honest here. We're in 2025, almost 2026. Nothing is pen and paper anymore. Like
Yeah.
no one's writing anything up. So, I mean, you have to get with the times. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? People send email proposals. They go right to your phone. So I would say one of the big things that I notice is people who have that sort of, I'm not saying you got to be a tech genius,
Right. Right.
but know how to use your phone, know how to use a computer. That way we can teach you the applications, and then that way you can go ahead and implement. Because if you don't know anything, I mean, you've already dug yourself quite a hole.
It's going to be tough. Yeah. Because a lot of the things we do are tech based, right? A lot of
100%.
software we use, right? A lot of the marketing that we go through and set up, CRM systems, the estimating, all of that is electronic in some way on a web browser, whatever it is. So yeah, that's definitely something, and that's good though because we're a part of kind of, I'm not gonna say younger generation because we're getting up there, but it's like we're so quick with it, right? So like just alone that support that you'll get to help set all that up is like
Hmm.
crucial because a lot of them are super particular. Like we go through and we set up their drip sequences, right? It's like that's a game changer because now that can be a marketing funnel down the road that could follow up on all your proposals. That could do a lot of things that help you grow the business that if you didn't have before and you don't have the ability or knowledge or how to on setting it up, you're really hindering your success, you know?
No, 100%. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's about getting with the times, like I said. It's just,
Yeah.
hey, this is where we are nowadays, and the quicker you pick it up, the more successful you'll be.
Yeah. And what about like common problems? Like, is there anything you're like, all right, we're pretty much doing this or fixing this in everybody's business that we come across?
I would say systems, right? A lot of the guys don't have any like, and I think it has to do with like from proposal to closing a job, right? There is no system there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a
Or
lot
even
of the
the
people
lead
that
coming
we,
in, right?
yeah, yeah, that's a huge thing. It's like they get the lead, okay, they pick up the phone, they call them, they schedule the estimate, they go to the estimate, they send them the proposal, and then they wait to hear back from them. There's like, I think because again, like in older school, older times, like that's what people did. But
Yeah.
nowadays it's like, all right, let's get the lead in. Let's follow up on the lead, right? Let's continue to reach out until they answer us back. Okay, let's get them pre-qualified. I think that is huge. That's actually one thing in my business that is it's really helping me because now I'm done wasting time
Yeah.
with estimates or things like that. So let's get them pre-qualified. Then let's get them that appointment scheduled. Let's go to the appointment. Let's walk them through our process. Let's sell them, right? Like why we are the company they want to hire. And then, if you don't sell it on the spot, fine, cool, no problem. I know it's not easy, but we leave them with a little something to
Mm-hmm.
remember us by. In our case, our sales packet. And in a day or two, they'll be hearing from us.
Yeah.
There's always got to be some sort of follow up, pretty much until they tell us, "Hey, Justin, we're not using you," or "Hey, we're just not going to do whatever it might be." Until they
Yeah.
tell us to leave them alone, we're pretty much following up. And I feel like a lot of people that come into the program have no idea about a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. Now, a couple of things there, right? Like 5, 6, 7 years ago, that was enough. That initial process you described, right? Going in and just kind of saying, all right, here's what it is. Let me know, right? You would get the call back. They would say, yeah, hey, you're the guy. Let's do it, you know? But now we have access to 20 different painting companies that all look semi-attractive because they're following a similar blueprint, right? Or they have, you know, invested in reviews, the website. It's like everybody is like professionalizing across the board. So how can we separate ourselves in different ways? And you spoke a little bit about that with that process. But the cool thing is too, right? Even with like the sales process and whatnot, it was enough to get somebody to like you, smile, and just have your personality sell the job. Nowadays, that is not the case. Like, you have to show them that you are the better value overall. You have the best offer. That when all the boxes start getting checked, that you're checking all of them, and you may even be a little expensive, and that's where you have to kind of get over the hump and use some of our techniques and go through that process. But it's like, everybody's checking boxes. So how can you just go that much more above and beyond? Right? It's something I talk about a lot. Like, you have to have a no-brainer offer nowadays. It's
No,
not enough
100%.
to charm the homeowner and make Karen feel like you're her nephew or something. You know, it's a little different. It's a little more
No,
competitive.
100%. And that's one of the things I go over. Probably I touch on it at least one one time per session.
Yeah.
Is you need to do whatever it takes to make yourself seem like the premium product, right? Differentiate yourself from everybody else. What are all of these guys doing over here? And what can I do where I'm the only one doing it? Right? There was a point like where, I mean, I don't want to say it, but there's not a lot of them that are out there doing like on-site color renderings for clients.
Right.
We do it all the time and people love it. I've had people tell us, look, we hired you because you gave us the rendering right here, right now. We didn't even have to pick a color. You
Mm-hmm.
essentially did it for us. So it's huge. Like any little thing to give you that advantage, like you were saying, you can check all their boxes, but who can create a new box for the client and check it at the same time? So essentially you're creating a need or a want or something that they had no idea that was so important to them
Yeah.
that you are now offering it and checking that box for them. So like I said, they could have 10 boxes, 10 painters check every single one. But who's the one adding to that list?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the one separating themselves from everything else?
Yeah. I think a big thing also is the confidence, right? Because when you go through like the coaching, you know, you have so many systems dialed in that work with the numbers, right? Because the numbers are huge, right? The planning, the, you know, business plan, how many leads do I need, how many appointments, all that kind of stuff. If you can go in and have the confidence that you're doing everything you need to do, you don't have to go in panic mode anymore, right? It's like giving a price that you know is, hey, this is the pricing we provide. This is accurate. It's dialed in because this is a refined system that we have built into our business, right? That we will help you set up. So just that confidence alone, when somebody pushes back, it doesn't make you think, oh, the price might be a little off. It makes you think, all right, what other ways can I add value, right? To have them see it's more than just the price, right? And that's like the biggest battle that painters deal with. If you could talk a little bit about like the confidence we're giving these guys as well.
Yeah, I mean, I always tell people, like a lot of the guys that we coach, guys and gals, let me say that, um, you need to be able to justify your price because I tell, like we always say, price to people, it doesn't, they could be in two totally different tax brackets. Price is perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are going to buy something from you if they feel like they're getting the best bang for their.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's how I am, right? So if I'm shopping around for something and I have one person come in at $1, $2, $3, whatever, and the person at $3 is like, well, look, we're going to do X, Y, Z. We're going to make sure this is done, and I can tell I'm getting more for my money there.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. It is, and that's how you need to make your customers feel, and the confidence to give them is in the systems.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the sales process that we teach you. It's in all like the sales psychology that we try and teach you. So with all that, it's literally about, hey, they're not necessarily buying the paint job. They're buying you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have that confidence. You have to go in there. Like I was telling the guy we were on the call with yesterday, I said, when you're walking around inside these people's house doing your measurements, act like you own the place.
Mm-hmm.
I say because they're going to be like blown away. Like, wow, this guy really knows what he's talking about. This guy is like, look at him. He might as well have a seat on my couch and make himself a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how comfortable he is here.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of aura you want to give off. Like not cocky, but like, hey, look, you got holes everywhere here, man. You got corner beads popping. We're gonna fix
Yeah.
all that for you. How does that sound? It sounds pretty good, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all about like your know-how and your confidence. And then when it's time to sit down and discuss price and discuss like the proposal itself, it actually gets easier
Mm-hmm.
because, like you said, now you know the numbers are in place. You know the systems are right. It's all about, do they think I'm worth it? Essentially.
Yeah. I had somebody today text me and he said, so I worked with a company. It was a son and a dad, and the dad was the guy doing everything, right? They were making good money, but like he was like, I'm so stressed. My son's getting out of high school. I need him to kind of help me out with the business and kind of help things out. And we made the son the PM. We got him an admin. He only does sales. He's not running around doing busy tasks. And he just texted me this morning and he's like, my dad's getting better at this. He just landed a 14K deal on the spot. And you could tell it was like production rates because of the numbers and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's just cool to see because they run with it as well. You know, I mean, even though we could teach all day and crunch all the numbers, once we give you the system, it's done for you, right? I mean, we hop on that session, we optimize your systems and your numbers, and it's like you run with it. Now you're out. You don't have to ever even come back to us to kind of like redo it because you get it so intuitively now.
No, 100%. Right? And it's funny, once we set the numbers for the clients, I say, do not. So I don't even want to show you the screen because I don't want you going back in here messing with anything.
Yeah, yeah,
And then you're coming back and you're like, oh, we got to do. So yeah, I mean, like I said, we can give you the playbook. We do give you the playbook. We give you everything you need to know. It's about taking what we give you and running with it and executing.
And
That's what it's about.
what about the confidence, like even speaking your own, right? Like before, how did you look at like growing and now how are you looking at growing? Like what's the difference?
So when I first looked at growing, I think you can attest to this because you were my coach. I was like, oh, I'm going to do it at a slow, steady pace. I think we'll be all right. You know what I mean? But now once you see like how quickly things change, you can grow at that faster pace. And I think that's my next step is like, okay, now that I just got back from vacation, I'm really going to dial in
Yeah.
and we're going to push it strong for the end of the year. That way going into the new year, everything that I want to implement is going to be dialed in. Everything's going to be ready to go. Firing on the cylinders. That way next year we're going to crush it. But this is what, like, sometimes you need a reset, right? Like I
Yeah.
just like I said, I just went on vacation. I was like, you know what? Like 2 days before I came home, I was like, man, I'm ready to go home and like kill shit
That's
because
the
I'm ready
best
to get back.
feeling.
Yeah, I'm ready to get back to it. And, and I am. So now I'm setting myself up for the new year and realizing like, okay, I've grown this much so far,
Yeah.
but how much more can we do this to where it doesn't become any stress and it just is like pretty much copy and pasting what I did before.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool too because we do like once a year we have like a call where we go through like a business plan and everybody comes and they go through it and it's like they write out all the numbers. So we'll have that this year, right, in a few weeks, and that'll be a game changer for our guys to set them up for the next year. And that support you don't get anywhere else. You can't just hop into somebody's business planning workshop, right? That's like one of the key things that you also get is like the community, right? Or the continuous coaching. Yeah, the one-on-one's there, but that's the implementation period. The maintenance period comes after, right? And like we have also
Correct. Yeah.
guests that want to come on and speak and be involved. Like we have a $6 million painting company coming on tonight to speak. That's going to be huge. You can't just get that anywhere, right? It's like you have to pay a lot of money for that.
No,
And
100%.
speaking of like events and community and whatnot. We are going to be at PaintCon in Scottsdale, Arizona at the Lions Den, hosted by Lucas and his team from Forward Media. Just so I can get these dates right, I don't have them at the top of my mind. It is going to be November 7th to 9th, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think Friday is going to be a group workout. Saturday and Sunday are going to be the main days, but we're going to have a booth set up. We're going to be talking about the coaching, what we offer, all that kind of stuff. If you are interested in coming out, guys, reach out to me because we get like special discounts for our group. That's another thing. A lot of vendors hook us up because they know that we got some clout, right? We got people that are willing to invest in themselves to grow, and I'm excited about that. How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling pretty good. This is going to be like my first real like expo. I've always talked about going to PCA,
Yeah.
but the last 2 years it's come around.
Well,
I
this is
had some,
PaintCon. Sorry, not PCA, but event.
yeah,
I got what you're saying.
no, but yeah, it's like even when we had the PCA the last 2 times, I was like, I had stuff going on. It's crazy like how it happened. Um, so the fact that I'm getting to go to PaintCon and just be able to finally network with a lot of the guys and a lot of the people that I like, have in the community already, that I've had for years, like friends on Facebook, we chit chat back and forth. Like now I'm actually going to be able to go out there, meet them, like hang out, shoot shop, and just kind of like really, my main goal is to really soak everything in like a sponge. You know what I mean? I really want to be able to come back from PaintCon and be like, man,
Yeah,
this is what I'm going to start doing.
because these are 10, 20, $100 million businesses, right? So this is like you're getting sauce from guys that, sure, they might be trying to pitch something or whatnot. But I was there at the last one, and I'm telling you, these guys were just opening up their business. Like these guys were like going through their good, better, best strategies. They were going through their sales process, all the automations they have set up, and I'm just like taking pictures. You know what I mean? So
You have to, right? Like
yeah,
I said, it's like these events are just like a coaching. If you're going to go to these things, don't just sit there with a
yeah,
phone in your pocket, no notepad, and just like think you're going to memorize it. You need to soak this stuff in so
yeah,
that when you go back to your business, you implement everything. It's great hearing it all, right? Yeah, oh, cool. This guy's doing X, Y, Z, and he's making $3 million in a year. Cool, that's
right,
great. But how is he doing it? And if they're explaining it, you need to soak in that knowledge.
yeah. Yeah, for 100%. And you had a run in the other day, right, on an estimate with one of the guys in our community.
Yeah, yesterday, crazy. It's actually funny because it's a little out of our service area, but the lady was like, she was really adamant. She wanted us to come out, so I was like, yeah, no problem. So I show up there and I see a truck in front of me, and the lady's walking down the driveway, and I get out of my truck, and she's like, hey, I have another painter here. I'm like, we all get like this. Let's be
Hmm.
honest here. She's like, I have another painter. I'm like, man, I'm wasting my fucking time here. All right, so I just kind of said to myself, I was like, look, man, no worries. Let him go. I don't like stepping on anybody's toes. I'll wait my turn.
Hmm.
And then I see who gets out of the truck, and they start walking towards my truck, and it's Ryan. And I'm like, oh shit. I was like, it's Ryan. And he gets out and he starts talking to her. And then he tells her, or she tells him, oh, he said he's gonna wait. He's like, I was gonna wait, but I know this guy. Like,
Hmm.
we're good. We'll
Right,
walk it together with you. So we ended up both walking the property with her. Both like it was like double team on her, like like hey,
yeah,
we're gonna do this, and he's like, yeah, Justin and them, they'll do this. And I was like, yeah, Ryan and them, they'll do the same thing.
yeah.
Like I was like, we pretty much told her, look, you got two top quality
Are the
painters here.
best, right?
I was like, so you're in good hands no matter who you go with.
Hmm.
And because it's a little out of our service area, I did shoot my price a little higher just because it's further for us. So at the end of the day, I hope Ryan gets it
Yeah.
because I know he'll do a great job on her house, and she'll still remember who I am because I was there with him, and
Hmm.
I gave him kind of we both gave each other that little bit of, hey, look, if not me, him.
Hmm.
All right, that's how we handled it.
And that's the crazy thing. I mean, and just for reference, Ryan's one of the guys in our community out of Palm Beach, and he went through the coaching and all that. But they both showed up at the job, and they're like, "Oh shit! Like you're estimating this too." So I was talking to Ryan and I was like, you guys probably gave the same exact price, like to the dot, right?
Yeah, it's
No,
funny.
but
We
I
didn't
think,
even discuss price. We probably should have.
yeah, well, I think it's funny that like you guys are from this community, right? And that's the positive, you know, that we bring, the positiveness, right? It's like you get guys that want other people to have success, right? So you're both deferring to each other, like, no, you take care of it. And that just speaks volumes about everything that we do and what we're building. So it's pretty cool.
No, it
But
was pretty cool.
But yeah, I thought it was funny too. You're like, no, I'll wait because hey, once I have all the information, I can finesse a little bit. I can make some things happen, and I think that's a
Yep.
veteran move. You guys are both trying to pull there.
Yeah, but like I said, since it was Ryan, I didn't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it is what it is. Sometimes people plan estimates like that. Is it the most ethical and logical way to do things?
Yeah.
Probably not. Out of respect, you should always let one person here and then let them leave and let the next person in. But yeah, everyone's different.
Mm. So we'll wrap it up. A few minutes left. If you could, maybe make a case for the Paint Pro coaching, because when they hear it from me, it's like, well, you own the place, it's like one of those things.
Yeah,
Why should somebody consider joining with us and getting with us to help them build their painting business rather than another community or coach?
because we get proven results. And I think that goes under the radar a little bit, right? Like, if you were to go through our whole group chat, everyone who's went through, like, especially the one-on-one coaching, right? Because we have tiers of the coaching now.
Yeah.
But if you do the one-on-one coaching, ask every single person if they grew their business. And I guarantee they say yes. Guarantee. Um, results speak, the numbers are everything. Just like in a painting business, numbers are everything. And I think if you line up all of the clients that we've had, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. Everybody has had an increase in revenue. Everyone has probably bought back some sort of their time. I know I have. When I first joined, I think I was doing like 125 a year. Now we're on pace to do 1 million.
Mm.
And I was painting every day. Now I don't touch a paintbrush ever. I'm here doing the podcast now, and my guys are working. So I mean, like, take it from me. You know what I mean? I'm living proof, and I believed in the coaching so much that now I'm coaching
Right.
because I'm a firm believer. Practice what you preach. So I mean, like, I've been through the program. I've done the due diligence. I've put in the work, and now I'm ready to help others get to that next level. And I think that the Paint Pro coaching is perfect for someone who's, whether you're just getting the thing off the ground, which I've helped. I've helped a guy who didn't even know what primer was. Like, I think you remember, he had no idea what primer was, and next thing you know, he's 6 weeks later, he's selling jobs
Mm-hmm.
like with his sub and things like that. It's a proven system. It really works. If you're, like you said, 2 million, $3 million business, we got stuff for you too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody can use some of the game we have to offer. And I think the best investment you can make is in yourself. So why not?
Boom. We'll leave it at that. All right, brother. Appreciate you joining. And until the next one.
Of course, anytime.